possibly a little severe weather around. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. Middle 70s at the end of the weekend. 6:45.
All right, thanks, Tim. They wear the badge and take an oath to protect and serve. But at the end of their career, some in law enforcement don't think they're getting back what they've put in.
And that's partly because Georgia doesn't have a statewide retirement plan for them. However, I spoke with one local chief who was pushing to change that.
When Grovetown Police Chief Jamie Kitchen isn't leading his officers, he's scratching his head.
The state of Georgia does not have a state law enforcement retirement. I don't mean just for state employees, I mean for law enforcement in general. And the issue and the reason I brought this up is every state that touches Georgia does.
Something he says doesn't add up.
For those of us in law enforcement and have been in law enforcement, I'm approaching 3 decades myself, this has always been something that has been repeatedly shot down or dismissed. Anytime it's been brought up, it's been, oh, that's never going to happen in Georgia.
Kitchen says there are plenty of models for state lawmakers to look into.
We're not reinventing the wheel. Go to any one of these states around here and ask them how you doing.
And District 125 Representative Gary Richardson agrees.
I think the average citizen probably is not even aware that there's not a statewide retirement plan.
As the legislative session continues, so will Representative Richardson's push for a statewide law enforcement retirement plan.
I am interested in seeing why we're not there. What is the issue? What is the holdup?
Kitchen says agencies are fighting to hire and retain qualified employees.
So if there has ever been a time to come to the table and say, what can we do to recruit these folks and bring folks back to law enforcement, offer something up that makes people say, you know what, I can do 25 years and then I can still retire as a young person, a fairly young man or young woman, and go do something else if I want to.
Ashley Campbell on your side.
Now, there is the Peace Officer Annuity and Benefit Fund that is for all law enforcement in the state. After 30 years, you get $950 per month when you retire. The Georgia Sheriff's Association tells me that it is for the retirement fund. However, it says that it comes down to having funding to kickstart it and then keep it going. Meanwhile, Grovetown City Council meeting last night and unanimously voted to sign a resolution for that retirement fund. It's going to be heading to Atlanta next. Chief Jamie Kitchen spoke with us afterwards on how it's going to help future law enforcement personnel, not just him or the current men and women behind the badge.
If you have let's say you have a 25-year retirement, okay, and you have somebody that comes into an agency and says, I can make a career here, I can spend 25 years here, and maybe one day I can become a chief. You know, maybe one day I can make it to a chief deputy or a major or whatever. That person's going to be invested in that agency, which means they're going to be invested in that community. You know?
Council leaders and Kitchen say passing the resolution will hopefully get the attention of state lawmakers and Governor Brian Kemp. I reached out to Kemp twice about the possibility of this retirement fund. I have yet to hear back. However, I will let you know when I do.
Fentanyl overdose